Irish communities are reinventing the story of stuff by changing how we think about waste.
1 million tonnes of food goes to waste every year in Ireland. Over 50,000 tonnes is actually food surplus rather than waste. In other words, it's good food that could be used.
People coming to us now, Duncan, are coming and asking for food. It's actually what they ask for. And that would be rather new to us.
The fallout from our disposable society isn't only environmental, it's economic, social and personal. So how do we reevaluate the way we think about consumption? At home, in our businesses and in our communities. Inishbofin, or Inishbofin, the island of the White Cow, lies 7 miles off the coast of Galway. A community of 160 people live on this picturesque island. They are largely dependent on a seasonal tourist economy these days, since it's become increasingly difficult to make a living from fishing. Islanders live with a different kind of awareness of their patterns of consumption. Because everything comes in by boat and everything has to leave by boat. And tourism comes with its own challenges. Andrew Murray runs a hotel, bar and restaurant on the island, and he took me on his daily collection from the pier.
So Andrew, where are we off to?
We're heading west now towards the Dunmore Hotel.
Yeah, is it far?
Just 1 kilometre up the road. Ready for your pint, Duncan?
As Andrew explained, life has changed a lot on the island in the last few decades. Bread, meat, vegetables and other staples would once have been produced on the island. They now come in from the mainland and from even further afield. Andrew, is all of the food now that you supply to your customers here, has that all got to come from the mainland, or is some of it sourced on the island?
Some of it is sourced, just not enough. All of our seafood, all of our shellfish are local. Some of our vegetables are local and greens are local. But other than that, really, most of it comes in.
Like many rural communities, the islanders on Inishbofin are struggling. So they're working hard on a strategy to transform the island into an ecotourism destination. This will help them to sustain a viable community here, while preserving what is special about their island.
This as a kind of a microcosm of the country as a whole. You can see what comes in and out of this place very easily, because all you have to do is look at the boat and see what comes in on that and what goes out on it. So how do we get away from importing, oil-based products to run your heating, and how do we replace electricity that's created on the mainland? We can do that here with wind. And islanders by their nature are resourceful. They just need to have less barriers put in the way to the progress that they can do.
Islanders were almost self-sufficient 50 years ago. And with the right strategy, they're striving to once again become as self-reliant as possible in food, renewable energy, and in how they reinvent the way they deal with their waste. Andrew's brother, Simon, is the manager of the Inishbofin Development Company.
Currently, at the moment, we're actually working as part of a case study to look at waste, the reduction of waste, also in relation to tourism, for creating a more eco-friendly tourism, and also to be more conscious of the fact that we're living in an SAC, it's also an SPA, and the waters are an SAC as well, so we've 3 huge designations here. It's also an area of high scenic amenity. So it's about finding now a practical use for those, for the community and also the tourism industry, in order to bring in I suppose, that ecotourism aspect of it, which we're missing right now, and to target that group, which is a huge growing sector throughout the world now, and to try and bring that into a greener Inishbofin and sustain the community as well. This is the original old pier of Inishbofin Harbour, which is now used mainly for all the freight activity.
This is where you see really the real action taking place.
Yeah, and you'd often get in the tourism season a lot of people standing here looking kind of in amazement because they don't see the movement, which we are so used to as islanders, of all our everything stuff, basically, as we're talking about it, coming in and going out. What we're trying to do at the moment is we're trying to monitor what's coming and going and the quantities of it, and with the idea of what can be done to reduce it first and foremost. Like, do you need all that extra packaging and stuff that's coming in and out? Can you reduce that in any way? Pallets, for instance, and stuff that comes here that's broken, can it be reused, recycled, made into different things? Even just firewood at the end of the day, if that's necessary? Or does some stuff, which obviously the bigger metal, like cars and stuff, have to be shipped out for onward waste recycling for metal? So it depends what the actual goods are, but the objective will be to reduce as much as possible.
This is only the beginning of the journey towards a greener island. As part of this effort, they've arranged a workshop to teach people practical skills to find innovative ways of repurposing materials in their waste stream. Materials such as fishing nets, buoys, grain bags, and in this case, pallets. Bernie Walsh is on Inishbofin on behalf of Community Reuse Network Ireland, the organisation behind these recycling workshops.
Like coming here yesterday, we never dreamt that half as many people would firstly get involved, and then secondly come up with all these wonderful ideas of other things they could do. So to me, that like it was a brilliant day yesterday and again today to see people using their initiative and not seeing it as waste. A lot of the kind of pubs in around the city centre now are going for these outdoor seating areas made from pallets, and a lot of the shops are going for this kind of look inside the shops now, the pallets on the walls, to hand things out. It's become really fashionable.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what we're going to do today is cut these pallets all the way down on one side, and we're going to turn it into a pallet bench, and we're going to take the offcuts and we're going to use them as armrests on each side of that. For us to do that, we're going to need our tools, we need our jigsaw, our extension lead, our drill and our screws.
See, I'm well out of practice.
That is effectively your bench.
We're lucky enough in most cities that you can put what you want in a bag and get rid of it. But should we be? What these workshops are about are making people look at a waste in a different way, but it's even 10 times as important on an island. A pallet is a piece of wood. There's absolutely no reason why that should be got rid of over a 6-month period. That could be there and working for years if taken care of and used properly. We've set up the mattress recycling now in Glasnevin in Dublin, which is another kind of new idea over the last year and a half. It's looking at taking mattresses from landfill, keeping mattresses and bed bases from landfill. Actually, I'll invite you to come down and really see it.
Where's it going on?
It's going on in Glasnevin in Dublin. We want to kind of prove the case in Ireland that Ireland is an island. So we need to treat Ireland as an island, the same way we're looking at everything comes in. We have to think if it comes in, how's it going out? Or is it going to go in the hole in the ground in our country?
Dealing with their waste is just one of the many challenges they face in working towards an eco-island. And by living up to this ethos, the islanders will also create a better environment for themselves. It's sobering to think that on the island of Ireland, most of the waste we produce is being exported to other countries for incineration or recycling. What we're actually doing is giving away valuable resources. Our current linear model is take, make and dispose. If we work towards a circular economy, we can keep our resources in use for as long as possible. Diverting waste into another stream can also create viable enterprises. In an industrial estate in Cork City, a company called EcoCell is doing just that. They make cellulose insulation from waste paper. They're creating a product from waste that has far more value than it had before. This is a great example of working with a circular economy. The waste paper they use is sourced from local businesses, and the product is then used to insulate local houses. I went to meet John Egan, who is in the middle of production at his workshop.
Duncan, great to see you again.
Long time no see.
The paper used to make the insulation is treated with natural salts that make it resistant to fire, pests and mould.
You wouldn't do you any harm. This is a mock-up of a timber frame wall. We've put perspex on the front of it,
Yeah.
so you can see the fibres going in.
Okay, so this would show you pumped in at the right
This
pressure.
will show you pumped in at the right pressure.
The cellulose fibres must completely fill the cavity to improve thermal performance in an attic or timber frame wall.
It's a breathing insulation as well. It creates a much better indoor atmosphere in the house because it deals with the moisture in the house. It's like we would say definitely it makes for a healthier house, cellulose.
This is made of paper. How does it perform in fire?
It performs really well in fires, Duncan. I mean, if you want, I could do show you a demonstration.
I'd
over
love
here.
to see it under fire test.
It's a fire test, yeah.
Okay.
This is Lionel.
Hi,
works
Leo.
with me.
How are you?
People associate paper with, oh, it's going to go on fire. It's
Right.
the opposite. It is the most fireproof insulation you can put in your attic, cellulose. I think in Ireland we seem to be afraid of low-tech products and we look for these high-tech solutions. We have a low-tech solution which works and has been proven to work for the last 100 years.
Cellulose costs the same as the imported petrochemical products we currently use. Paper sequesters carbon just like wood. So if all our attics were insulated with cellulose, it would continue to provide carbon storage and support enterprises like this one that would generate new livelihoods. Changing the way we think about waste can have both environmental and social benefits. And waste diverted into another stream can fulfill needs in the community that aren't being met. At least 1 million tonnes of food is wasted each year in Ireland, and about 25% of this is surplus, that is perfectly good food that goes to landfill. While working for St Vincent de Paul in Cork, Brendan Dempsey began to join the dots between poverty in the city on the one hand and food waste on the other.
People coming to us now, Duncan, are coming and asking for food. It's actually what they ask for. They don't ask for a bag of coal or clothes for the children. They're actually coming to us and asking for food, and that would be rather new to us.
What sort of people?
Well, it has changed. In the old days, you'd be helping people who would have been perhaps on the dole on social welfare, bag of coal a week or shoes for the children going back to school. Increasingly, there's a change in the type of person coming to us, newly unemployed. These would be well-educated, very hard-working, suddenly don't have a job and they can't pay the mortgage. And they're on the verge of being thrown out. Electricity has been turned off, gas has been turned off, no insurance on the house.
And it's food that they're focusing on.
Well, when they come to the office or write to us, requesting help, their initial request is for food. I never saw that happening before. 5 years ago, we started here in Cork asking factories for food, and a local group, Musgraves, the Musgrave group, came on board almost immediately and helped us. I was collecting the food and distributing it. And then a year ago, we started another charity called the BIA Initiative. And we have, we're professional now. In the first year, we have taken in 252 tonnes of food. And that 252 tonnes, I'm told, represents 517,000 meals.
Wow.
So we've distributed 517,000 meals in exactly 12 months. August to
All
August,
in the Cork area?
In the Cork area.
We'll have it sorted by lunchtime, I'd say, probably. And we can call in a few of the charities then to collect in the afternoon.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Duncan. How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. You're all busy here, I see.
We are. We get food in from about 31 different manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and we get deliveries maybe once a week, maybe once a month. It depends. You know, we've got 31 manufacturers, food companies registered on our database now, and so they give us donations when they have surplus food. So we take it in, we break it down, we segregate it, and then we send it out to charities.
Tell us what's going on
What's going on
what
here
have we
now?
got here?
This is Mary,
Hi,
super
Mary.
volunteer. This is Duncan.
Doing great work there, I must say. So what have you got here, Mary?
Ready meals.
And I see you've got milk here then to go to cornflakes.
Yeah, and orange juice. We have a full breakfast tray.
And this is perfect bread.
Perfect. Absolutely.
God,
We'll shift that this afternoon now. Bread particularly, you want to shift it. You know, people like fresh bread.
What have you got here? These are all different meats. So what happens? How do you store meat here, Karen?
So actually, the JP McManus Benevolent Fund gave us €50,000 and we've put in state-of-the-art fridge freezer.
These down, you could have a look at them.
Come down and have a look. They're amazing. These are ham ends that we get from Carol's Meats up in Tullamore and County Offaly. And this thick piece can't go into the actual packs of sliced ham. These bits are kind of misshapen and they're not a uniform shape.
Are you telling me that this typically would be wasted otherwise? All of this meat?
Yeah, it was previously. When we contacted Carol's, the MD up there, John Comerford, said to me, he said, this is the phone call I needed, he said, because, you know, it really disturbs me that we actually do have waste in our process and we don't have somewhere to send it.
My hands
and
are
to be
freezing
fair
with
to
it.
Carol's, they package them. They have to do a slightly separate operation to actually produce them for us, but they do week in, week out, and it's invaluable.
Very good. I'll stick this back. Is there a huge amount of food still being wasted in Ireland?
1 million tonnes of food goes to waste every year in Ireland. Of that 1 million, we reckon that over 50,000 tonnes is actually food surplus rather than waste. In other words, it's good food that could be used, provided there was an infrastructure there that could actually harvest it and get it out there. And that's what we're providing. So that over 50,000 tonnes is 1,000 tonnes a week.
And you're taking in 20 tonnes.
Exactly.
So there's a huge difference.
There's a huge
between
difference.
1,000
exactly,
and you're getting 20.
Exactly. Now it's
2%.
It's tiny at the moment, and what we've got to do is what we're doing now. We've only been in operation for a year, and I suppose the word is getting out there. But as I say, we have 31 food donors at the moment. There are thousands of food companies in Ireland, and our aim and our drive, our objective is to sign up as many of those food companies as we can as registered donors.
I was inspired by the work being done by BIA Initiative. But it's shocking how much food is going to waste, creating damage in landfill where there are so many people going hungry. In Dublin, a social enterprise called Food Cloud is using technology to instantly connect those who have too much food with those who have too little, using a mobile phone app.
So we connect businesses at a very local level to charities, which enables us to create a local solution but scale it on a national level as well. So the business can log onto the app and then they can choose to post a donation. They can choose the food type, so fruit and veg, enter in the weight of the fruit and veg that's available, and then simply click submit.
As simple as that. That's fantastic.
And then once you get the thank you sign, that means the text message has been sent out to a local charity to inform them of the food that's available.
What motivated you to do this?
When I was studying in Trinity, I met my colleague Evan O'Brien, who's the co-founder of Food Cloud, and it was an understanding that food waste is such a massive problem, with over 30% of food produced going to waste, and really the realisation that within communities, a business can be throwing away perfectly good food and a charity can be literally around the corner trying to fundraise to buy food for those in need. So we really saw an opportunity to take action in Ireland and develop a solution to connect these businesses and charities at a local level.
Both Food Cloud and BIA Initiative are dependent on volunteers. So I decided to join the crew and help out on a Food Cloud pickup. which is to be delivered to a homeless hostel in Dublin.
A lot of people will be very happy with this now, I must say.
I hope they will enjoy
Very
it.
good. Thank you. Very good.
These initiatives are not only great examples of a circular economy, they're also part of a social economy. The social economy is community-driven, and it has become a powerful grassroots movement addressing imbalances in the way we deal with waste, motivated by a desire to help people who are less fortunate.
Today's bananas, the bread.
You've got, and you've got some cakes even.
Yeah, they go up the house now with that tea.
Right.
With that extra tea, up onto all the floors, with 9 floors in total.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good stuff. Now, lovely.
That's great.
Okay, good stuff. Right, wow, really good food. Look at this. And I mean, this would end up being dumped into the landfill, creating huge damage, environmental damage. And here's to going to a really good cause.
When I was on Inishbofin, Bernie Walsh invited me to visit Eco Mattress Recycling in Dublin. They're transforming waste into a resource, at the same time as providing retraining for those keen to get back into the workforce.
So where do you typically get your carpet from?
We've a couple of companies we work for, sometimes hospitals, colleges, believe it or not, student accommodation. The local authorities we take from the Brings sites.
Right.
And that's expanding all of the time now.
Right.
So typically these would have gone straight to landfill.
Really?
And
All of these end up
all
in
of these
landfill?
would have been in landfill.
Doing massive damage in landfill.
Yeah. And really, really makes the landfill unstable because as they get wet, they crush down, and then as they dry out, they come up.
Right. How many mattresses are, if you like, disposed of every year now in Dublin, say?
Oh, I think it's about 100,000.
100,000 every year?
Yeah.
In 10 years, that's 1 million?
Yeah.
My God.
It's phenomenal.
And they all end up in landfill?
Yeah. There's a lot of people who replace the mattress and not replace the whole bed. And then for the likes of hotels, they would have a policy whereby their beds are changed every 3 years. So whether the mattresses are damaged or not, they're changed every 3 years.
Once the mattresses are assessed and recorded, the dismantling process begins to separate foam and fabric from the metal springs. The fabrics are then compressed into transportable bales. Each bale contains between 20 and 30 mattresses. These are then collected for recycling as waste energy.
When we started to do this at the beginning, we weren't taking the bases, we were just taking the mattresses, but then realising that you were leaving people with still another problem to get rid of the base. These are cut down and made into sticks for kindling.
Okay, right.
And the only kind of piece that's left at the end are these little bits. It's less than 1% of the bed goes to landfill. Everything else
just
reused.
these bits of PVC
just
and
bits
plastic.
That can't be
That's
reused.
all.
That's all.
Less than 1%.
Everything, less than 1%.
Wow. Everything
of the
gets
whole.
recycled.
Everything else recycled. It's hard work.
Absolutely, I can
but
see that.
They've become really, really adapted
Yeah, they're
doing
very
it.
quick.
Yeah,
Hi guys,
they are,
how are
yeah.
you? Good.
Well, each man would be capable of doing up to 25 a day if
25
they were here.
a day?
If they were here
Mattresses?
full time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Like we'd be doing about 250 a week.
Well, the vast majority of the people who are here, who have been probably maybe formerly in the building trade or whatever, and through the downturn in the economy, they find themselves out of work for 2 to 3 to 4 years. Here they get the training, the upskilling.
There's great potential, isn't there?
There is great potential, and for me, the biggest thing is changing the mindset of both the people involved and the public, that it's not waste, it's now product.
We have to deal with our waste one way or another. But we can do that in creative ways that can transform people's lives. At the same time, creating more livelihoods, a cleaner environment, together with healthier, happier communities. We only have one island, and it's up to us to look after it.